Before I begin, I just wanted to say thank you for all the comments about my dad. You know, he's everywhere here in the store. You know, his handwriting's on the boxes, his coat's on his chair. He loved this place. He is this place. So being here, uh, I can be with him. He was especially excited about all of the ways that Epstein's was becoming more than just a tool store. Not just that we're selling his books, but he loved the pancake day. He loved beer and dart night, and he really loved Epstein's day. And Epstein's day was the thing that kind of kicked all of this off. So what is it? It was started on Garagejournal, which is a tool forum, by them, not us, just to support U.S. manufacturing. And we've been doing it for 10, 15 years. I mean, it's been a long time now. And it's July 4th, that weekend, starting on July 4th at midnight. And it goes all weekend. And you have to be a member of Garagejournal. It's free, but you got to go sign up. And then there's an Epstein's Day thread, which I'll put a link to in the video notes. So you got to go on the forum, you got to create an account, and then you got to message me and let me know that you want to be a part of this. There's all sorts of deals. We do a lot of fun raffles, and we have a poetry contest. And there's deals on Right, and there's channel lock stuff and wildy stuff and all sorts of fun ideas. Man, it is hard to think in the heat. So what I wanted to do is just I went around the store and I just got some of my favorite stuff that we have around here. A lot of the guys on the tool thread were like, what should I buy? I don't know. And it's great when you can come and walk around the store and see everything. Guys online can't do that. So I thought I could just walk you through some of the stuff that I think is fun. Oh, of course, we just got these brand new summer Epstein's hats. It's got the mesh back that everybody loves. Made in Kansas City. And these are like $30 and they'll be for sale. We also do t-shirts. So every year Right tool gives us an allowance to design and make t-shirts, which we make at Union Press down in KCK. 100% American made. And this year the t-shirts are going to be a memorial to my dad. And I think they look great. They are lemon yellow, but I think it's going to be one of my favorite t-shirts this year. So, stuff. Let's go through the stuff. It is just going to go in order in which I pulled this out of the box. So, first one on top here. Do you know what this is? This is a channel lock welper, is what some people call them, or a welding plier. It's a weird one. Everybody knows the regular channel lock, but I picked this one out just because it's one of the lesser known, but I believe they're one of the only companies to make a American-made welper. Channel Lock this year has given us lots of cool merch. They've given us hats, they've given us t-shirts, they've given us funny bottle openers. And so if you buy any Channel Lock stuff on Epstein's Day, we'll throw it in. If you buy more Channel Lock, we're going to be more generous. If you buy less, you might just get a sticker. I don't know. We're leaving it purposely vague. Look at this. This is a Dexter Chinese chef's knife made in Massachusetts. This is my favorite kitchen knife. Dexter has been making knives since 1881. They perfected their own steel that is kind of a mix of stainless and carbon. Carbon steel is excellent, but if you use it in the kitchen, it'll rust or discolor when it comes in contact with acidity. They found a workaround to that. And so this is a excellent knife. They're like 35 bucks. You can scrape it, use it as a scraper, finely chop stuff up, taking Chinese jobs back to the United States one at a time. Chinese chef's knives made in the US. This is Bevan Bell in New Jersey. They make all sorts of funny bells. This one, let's see if I can do it. This was the original bell that they used to start the stock market with, as well as boxing matches. Same bell. They make all sorts of strange bells. They make cowbells. They make tea bells. They make brass schoolroom bells. They make barbecue bells, which we don't sell. And they make this bell, which is, strangely enough, our most popular. I think they're like, I don't even want to say. But great bell. You mount it in the kitchen, wherever you want, get somebody's attention. These guys, these don't look like much. These are wooden handles. It's a company called Main Products, I believe, or they're also called Lutz. A lot of companies have multiple names. The cool thing about these are chainsaw files, and these are file handle files, metal files. And they have, you can't see it, but they have internal threads. So the problem with files is when you stick them on there, it's just by force. Sometimes if you use them too much, it just pulls apart. This one actually has internal threads, and so they bite into the steel as you're turning it. So you don't hammer these on, you turn them on, and they don't let go. They're super cheap, all American made. Speaking of which, this is Wright. Now Wright, one of our favorite companies. They're in Barberton, Ohio. They make sockets, ratchets, and wrenches, mostly. Their wrenches are amazing. They control every part of their manufacturing process. They heat treat it, they chrome it, they test for accuracy there, they make their own dies, they do everything. And that's why they've been so successful. And they are one of the few mid-size American-made companies left. They are not owned by a giant conglomerate. They are just a family business that has been making the same great quality wrenches for a long time. This year for Wright, if you order $100 worth of stuff, you get the t-shirt for free. If you order $200, we'll throw in a koozie. And I think there's also a 10% off thing. So, great stuff. Can't say enough good things about them. MTM. MTM started out, they're in Ohio as well. They started out making those carrying cases for the metal ammo crates. And then they started making their own ammo boxes out of plastic. But they've got a seal, they're watertight. This one's called a dry box. It's got a silly little compass on it. But don't let that silly compass fool you. This is a nice box and they're pretty inexpensive. We got a ton of different styles. This is just one that could fit in here. I'm gonna run out of space. Mayhew. I don't know why this is the most popular set we sell, but it is. It is a brass punch and chisel set. You use brass mostly on guns, but anything that is non-marring. The funny thing about this is it has, you could call them chisels. They're probably called them scrapers. And then the drift. So you got pin punches, drift, and scrapers. Again, I don't know what people are doing with these, but every year we sell a bunch of them. Oh yeah, laser darts. So this is another local company, KCK, second generation. They make fancy darts. How are darts fancy? They're fancy because the bodies are made out of tungsten. They're very heavy. You throw one of these, you'll never throw a cheap bar dart again. It's incredible the difference. Sure, a dart's a tool. We can count it as a tool. A little bit out of our range, but I just wanted to help another local company. we buy new old stock stuff. This one is the last of a deal that we bought from Old Stock Lufkin, just because we bought a ton of them. It's a 6-foot steel tape, probably brand new from the 1960s. You can always use another tape measure. Put it on your counter. You don't have to carry a 30-pound tape measure on your hip. You could just leave this where you need it, measure things. We do it all the time on our counter. Pignor. Pignor is a company, and by company I mean a single man in Oregon that is a blacksmith that makes super nice gardening tools. This is the classic trowel. You can pry anything out of the ground with this thing. It will not bend. It will not break. I use these all the time, every year. They're great. They're like $35, $40, depending on which one you're getting. Midwest. If you're cutting sheet metal, this is what every single sheet metal guy uses. They used to all use Wiss when I first started, which was probably like 15, 20 years ago, but Wiss changed the head design and everybody switched over to Midwest, and they all use offsets. They don't use any of that straight ones, nothing. I don't know why the big box stores don't carry them. They carry Wiss, they carry every other brand that nobody likes, but these are where it's at if you're cutting sheet metal. Ask a sheet metal guy, he will tell you the same thing. Oh yeah. Well, there's another Magnolia brush in there somewhere. Magnolia. They make wire brushes and then they make clean brushes. They make a lot of weird brushes. This is a shoe handle brush. And it's hard to tell, but if you buy one of these and if you buy an imported one, and we do sell both, it's worth just holding them in your hands because you will just immediately tell the difference between which one is which. The US ones just feel so much nicer in your hand. The bristles are set better, they'll last longer. They make brass, they make stainless steel, and this is just regular steel. All different types and varieties. And there's a deal, I think there's like 10% off Magnolia stuff, even though they're so cheap already. Oh yeah. Garland. I don't know where Garland is, but bricklayers use these things all the time. If you want to smack a brick and not crack it, pound it into the ground, this is what you use. It's got, because it has a metal head, it's super heavy, but the rawhide tips keep it from cracking stuff. So if you ever want to beat something up and not leave marks, this is where it's at. And we sell the replacement tips too. Let's see. Okay, let's go into we'll have a brief segue of not American made. We have bought more Japanese stuff. There is no more American made adjustable wrench, except the Snap-on, which costs like $140 or something. But if you don't want to spend that, this is your next best option. Why do people hate adjustable wrenches? Because when you get it right where you want it, then the jaw moves. This one doesn't do that. The thumb screw is made out of 2 pieces, and so there's friction all the way. So when you stop it, that's where it stops. It actually makes the adjustable wrench useful again, and they're like $35, $40. Vessel is another Japanese company. They make super nice bits. This is the most popular set. It's a 31-piece set. They have this little ball on them that's supposed to absorb the shock so it keeps the tip from breaking. Anyway, that's all they make is screwdrivers and screwdrivers bits, and they do a hell of a job. Oh yeah, Shinwa. Shinwa, another Japanese company. This is a taper gauge, but if you notice, it is in fractions. Everything that they make is in metric, and I've been talking to these guys about making more stuff in fractional, and they finally did it with the taper gauge. So there's not a deal on these, but I bet they're going to be popular, and I didn't buy enough. Oh yeah. Vortex drill bits from Norseman. Norseman is a drill bit company out of Minnesota. Look at those things. You've probably seen these before by now. I think they've kind of gotten around. They have a unibit head on a drill bit. They're molybdenum. They go through everything, stainless, everything, except aluminum. Anything that's super soft, they get gunked up with. But everything else, this is where it's at. And the nice thing is we sell them in sets. If you don't want to bite the bullet on a set, we sell them individually too. So you can just buy one, test them out. You won't be sorry. Oh, we're getting down to the bottom. Oh, this one escaped. So this is my favorite ratchet. This is a Wright ratchet, 3425. It's 3/8 drive, round head, contour grip handle. You know, not the finest tooth ratchet, but you can beat the hell out of this thing. And a lot of people, you know, they do the knurling on the handle, gets all gunked up with grease, and then you've got a greasy handle that isn't very hard to clean. They do the contour grip, so you can just wipe it off. It's super easy. You actually get a better grip on it than you do with the knurling, even though it seems like you shouldn't. And we sell the replacement kits for them. They're guaranteed. It's my favorite American-made ratchet. Okay. And then this is a funny one. We sell a lot of knives. In the store, we don't sell a lot of knives online because it's just hard to get a sense of a knife from buying it online. This one, look at this. It looks super uncomfortable, but it's actually really nice. It fits perfectly in your hand. It's a tiny little Skinner. They're made in Alaska out of caribou. I love this company. They're called Be Merry. Alaskan made, you know. I like a short little knife. You feel like you have more control over the blade. A lot of people like those big Bowie knives, but not for me because I work in a warehouse and I open boxes all day. Okay, and not last, but definitely not least. Oops. Oh, not last. Hold on. C.S. Osborne. If you're like, hey, I have all the tools, I have all these tools, look at C.S. Osborne because you do not have these tools. They make some of the weirdest tools you've ever seen. It's so specialty. It's what to get the guy that has everything. For instance, you don't have one of these. This is a shoe lasting plier. It's for cobblers that make shoes. So you have the hammer that tacks stuff in. Then you have the teeth that you can stretch the leather around. Super weird, super useful if you're doing shoe stuff. Look at this. They also make a brass hammer with a nylon tip and a magnetic end. I don't even know what this hammer is used for, but look how cool that thing is. And they have 50 more of different varieties just like that. This is probably one of the most popular from Osborne. It's just like a little scratch-all. I think it's called the 4-1. And they're pretty cheap. All made in New Jersey. All right. Finally, Wildy. Wildy, if you live in Missouri and Kansas, is your local tool company. They're in Hiawatha. They've been there forever. Our families have been friends for generations. They also have a raffle. If you buy $50 a Wildy, you get entered into a raffle that we'll do some fun thing with. And what do they make? They make pliers, they make punches and chisels, and they make pry bars, mostly. They make tiny pliers. Everybody loves a tiny plier. They make the farmer plier, what I call the farmer plier, because farmers always carry them in their pocket. This used to be called the 7G, I think. Anyway, this is their new fancy flush fastener style. It's got a shear cutter. Perfect pocket plier. And then we did buy a closeout from them a long time ago. Lots of old brake tools are left over from that, axle rethreading dies. And these guys, this is a just chromed slip joint thin nose plier. They don't say anything on them, but they're from Wildy. They didn't put their name on them because they were in the process of making them. But we got a ton of these, and they're a great deal. You know what this is? This is a cotter key extractor, but pretty much people use them for everything else but that. People can take the gunk out of windshields with them when you're replacing windshields. It's basically just a nice 90-degree scratch awl that you can get in there, and it has a nice big fat handle that you can actually get a grip on. Because a lot of those tools like this, they give you a tiny little handle. Can't do much with it. And then they also got into the tiny pry bar. They make enormous pry bars, which we of course sell, that are like 4 feet long. They also make these tiny pocket bars. I don't know what people are doing with these, but we're selling the hell out of them. So anyway, that's all I could find. That was just like my first trip around the store. Of course, got these Toyo toolboxes behind me. And then this guy who makes stuff for linemen, but I don't know how many linemen are going to be participating in this. So yeah, I am extremely hot. Our air conditioning is probably going to be out for a week because we have to redo the whole thing. So maybe I'll set up a kiddie pool in the parking lot and you can come down in your bathing suit and hang out. But we will be open and we will be pulling orders, and we're also getting that Philo deal. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. It's a German tool company. There's 4 pallets of it. It's going to come in middle of next week and we're going to scramble to get it online. Nice, cool ratcheting screwdrivers, pliers, very European looking pliers that look like, you know, they're an alien spaceship has landed. Fun stuff, but it's going to be a busy week for us. So anyway, that's it. I'm going home and soaking up some AC. I'll see you guys later.